Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Dumpcast podcast. I am your host, your lovely leader, Dump Truck, and today's topic is going to be centered around nervousness. Mostly because I'm nervous for starting this podcast. I have very limited skills and abilities to do this, and I do not have like a proper recording setup and all of that fun stuff. And in all honesty, I have no reason to really be making this podcast. I'm not doing it because, it's something that I've been like I have to do. It's just something that I really want to do, and I'm just trying it out. I'm trying out different things, and I feel like I would regret if I didn't make this video or this podcast. Basically planning on adding in friends, family, if they want to join in on it. But for now, it's just me and seeing if I can talk for that long, and I'm not sure if I can because it's only 1 minute and I have no idea. Whatever. I've had nervousness in many past interactions. As a kid, I was not a very outgoing person. I don't have many friends to this day. Why am I admitting this to a podcast? God only knows. But you know what? My family doesn't know about this yet, so we're gonna keep this a secret. And I'm not going to be editing this, so if there's any weird noises, I'm counting that as ASMR, tagging that as ASMR. You can't stop me. But yeah, nervous about making this video, and I have no idea what the volume is. But I feel like I had a million different things that I wanted to talk about. Now I'm sitting down and I'm actually doing it, and I don't know what to say. I know that I want this podcast to be something that is very fun, and we can have a good time, and to whoever listens, I can talk to you guys and whatever. But it's just running a blank in my mind right now. I don't want to have to go back and edit any of this. The whole point of this is that I'm just making content to put out, because I go to college right now, so there's not a lot of like things that I could be putting out and still doing schoolwork, but it is summertime, so I'm kind of trying to push forward a little bit more of that work. But I guess the reason why I really am doing this today is because I've been reading a book lately. I been trying to go out, better myself. A lot of people I feel like have been going out trying to better themselves lately, and my idea of bettering myself is not working out and putting effort into my appearance, but instead is picking up a book and reading. And that's not me trying to sound quirky or anything, that's just what I wanted to do. I don't know. Shut up. Anyway, I am picking up this book, The Alchemist. Yeah, I heard it was a classic, and I was like, sure, I'll go ahead and read that. And despite the blatant stereotypes of Romani women, it seems really inspiring so far. It's definitely a product of its age. I actually don't know when it was put out. Hold on. Like, it can have been like very recent. It came out in 93. Okay, so I mean, when did The Hunchback of Notre Dame? Sure, cast, movie, whatever. Okay, 96. I'm not saying that's an excuse or anything. I just feel like things were a little bit different in the 90s, whatever. Not to say it doesn't happen now, because it definitely happens still to this day. But anyway, The Alchemist is a very interesting book because it is something that it tries to inspire. So if you guys have not read the book before, and I have not finished the book, so this is as far as I've gotten, is there's a guy, he's a shepherd, he goes around and he tries to sell wool and crap, goes to the town, and he meets this dude, and this dude's like, oh wait, I just skipped a bunch of more, no, let me start over again. So this guy lives moving around, he's a shepherd, he goes to his town, tries to sell some wool, he's been having some weird dreams about a child telling him to go to the pyramids in Egypt, right? And, he doesn't know what it means, so he goes to this lady who is supposed to be, like, capable of reading his palms, like clairvoyant, I guess, I don't know, tells him that you got treasure in the pyramids of Egypt, which, like, okay, go ahead and take more, dude. Freaking loser, dude. Can't get your own treasure? Can't find your own gold that isn't already in a place that should probably be left alone? Anyway. Goes out and is like, dude, you're crazy. I'm not going to go get some treasure in the pyramids of Egypt that I don't even know where that is. So he goes out to courtyard. Dude tells him, yo, I'm a king. I'm going to help you find this treasure. And this dude's like, I literally do not care. Why are you telling me to go do this? And the guy's just like, trust me. And then he shows his chest plate, and it's gold with 2 stones in it, and he gives him the stones, and he's like, take these. They're gonna help you go find the treasure. And he goes find the treasure. But despite all of this, it says over and over again, basically, that the universe conspires to give you what you want, and it's up to that person to go out and realize what they want to do. And a lot of people go through life and they just kind of dream about it. They don't really do anything to actually go out and do those things that they really enjoy and what they've been dreaming about doing. And what this boy has been dreaming about doing is going out and traveling and seeing the world, learning new things, and that's the whole reason why he even became a shepherd in the first place. So he was like, heck yeah, I've been around this plot of area for a really long time, just walking around. It's about time that I start seeing new things. So he goes out and goes to look for the treasure. And it speaks about this thing of a personal legend of what basically, what do you want to leave behind when you go, and tell your children or people meeting them along the way. And that got me to think about what my personal legend is, what I want my personal legend to be, the things that I want my children to think about. And for some reason I thought podcast. No, I've been wanting to make videos for a long time, so this is me finally manning up and doing it. But the main thing that's been holding me back is, well, first of all, I live with my parents, and every moment here is very, very loud and rambunctious, and it's in the evening that I'm recording this, so it's the only reason why I'm actually able to record this. And I probably sound like a madman sitting here in my room, and I constantly overthink these things, just talking to myself in the room with nobody to listen. So not only that, but growing up, get a lot of judgment. People are very judgy. Kids are very judgy. Siblings are very judgy. I did not wear clothes that looked boyish as a child until I got older, because I was constantly told by older siblings that I looked like a boy, and for some reason that was like the end all be all for me as a kid. So I was like, okay, no longer doing that, thanks for ruining that, gotta retire Scooby-Doo. But with all like the judgment and worrying about like, would this even be successful, would this even be worth it to even try and do, and the fact that, you gotta think about if it's worth it. If it's worth just sitting in my room and talking to a microphone and a computer screen for God knows how long. Is that worth it? But what would make it worth it? Like, would me being able to make money off of this make it worth it? Or would that just be another step along the way? I would like to say that I don't want to ever have to to get a lot of views and all that crap. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I don't get excited when I see that a video I posted got views, and I get a little excited about that. But I don't want to do this for that. I want to do this because I want to push myself past the judgment and past the nerves and just be able to do something that I have been wanting to do for so freaking long. Gotta censor myself. I just feel like recording a lot of the things that I say to myself, be able to look back on those things in the way that I used to think and used to speak would be really interesting to look back and see how everything all started if I continue to do this kind of stuff. Like, just the other day, I was watching Curtis Connor's really good podcast, and he's on episode 220 right now. Got a whole warehouse, or not warehouse, but a studio that he sits and record in. He's interviewing Hank Green. He's out here doing it. He's just doing the thing. And you go back and you look at his first podcast episode, and it's just a screen of him in the corner, and it just is really good on it. And he's talking for 44 minutes. And I'm like, dang, he has grown. And granted, it has been 5 years since he's done that, and he's making other videos while he's doing it. It's still very impressive, really cool. It is really good. But, and that actually is another thing that I wanted to talk about, is what exactly is this for? What is this podcast that I'm talking about? What is going to be talked about here? Because I feel like a lot of different podcasts out here, they have a lot of different themes and different ways that they talk. There's this one I watched that does stuff on on companies and how they're bad. I don't really watch it anymore, but it was interesting. And then there was another one that was on death that I had to watch for a death and dying class I was taking. It was basically on the different religions' ways of death and all that stuff. And that stuff is interesting in its own respect, but the name of this cast is the Dump Cast. It is just going to be a word vomit of everything that I have to say and everything that my friends want to say on, not camera, but video, or in audio. Maybe I'll get a camera set up one day. I don't know. We'll see. But until now, this is this. And, I want to talk about, this just dumb crap. Some days it'll be dumb stuff when I know that I'm planning on having my friend in, and we'll be talking about aliens and stuff. And, maybe the next week it'll be, on weight loss, or the next week it'll be on just, river fish. Who knows? Stay tuned. So, yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say again. Dang it. I need to, write down. This is just, off the top of my head. I need to, write down the things that I actually want to talk about. Maybe I'll do that later on. But I don't know about you guys, but I personally don't listen to podcasts as a way of just being that's interesting, and gives me an introspective understanding of this topic now. Thank you for the education. I just put it on in the background while I'm playing video games. And so if you have a friend that talks a lot like I do, and you aren't hanging out with them while you're playing video games, just put this on in the background. It'll be great. I can do that just fine. I did not grab water. Hold on. I'm also recording this on a creaky ass futon. Anyway, but yeah, I put a lot of I'm kind of sick of the true crime stuff. I used to watch a lot of true crime videos and podcasts and stuff while I was off playing the Power Wash Simulator. By the way, great game, fun game, super fun. Beat the game as it was coming out, and I don't want to talk about the amount of nights that I stayed up until 5 a.m. playing that game. So, a lot of true crime videos or podcasts have got me through those nights, which is kind of weird because usually when I'm done listening to those podcasts, I'm super on edge. And being in a college dorm and then listening to a college murder, you're like, holy crap, that's scary. Anyway, time to go to bed. Maybe that's why I stayed up until 5 a.m. every night. Not because I wasn't tired, but because I was scaring myself awake. I don't know. But that, and with a lot of TV shows now, oh my gosh, every single daytime television, which how do they get away with this crap? Stuff like NCIS, CIA, I don't know, is that a thing? Law and Order SVU, which I'm not gonna rag on her because I really enjoyed watching her growing up, and my dad gave me a lot of life lessons about how perverts are out there and they're gonna do bad things. So she taught me a lot of lessons, even though it was very gross and probably should not have been taught to a child at all. Maybe, just maybe, don't have that on TV during the day, or have a different channel. I don't know. Even stuff what is it, General Hospital? That's just getting out of hand. What in the world? How are we getting these things on? And I don't want to sound like a prude or anything. I'm just saying in general, why? Why is there so much really gross crap? I don't want to see, I was trying to eat my dinner one night, and I think it was an older show called Bones that had a literal skeleton with maggots in its eyes. I was trying to eat my mac and cheese, dude. I don't want to see that. And I can't really walk into the room and change the channel because my parents are sitting here watching it, so I gotta go into the other room or something. But it's jeez, man. And this is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Why are you putting this on TV? But you know what? To each their own. I'll just not watch that. I'll just go to the other room, eat my mac and cheese, do something else. I don't know. But the issue is currently my parents do not have a any cable. So if you want to watch something, you gotta watch it either on the antenna or you watch streaming services. And so, which is a whole nother layer of bullcrap. You want me to get rid of cable, which is outrageously priced, and then get a bunch of streaming services, and it's only going to get more locked down with Netflix having extreme success. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Netflix, when it had the little thing where they don't let other people on your account anymore, it's only household accounts. So if you're not on that household's internet, you can't have an account on the Netflix or whatever. It was initially supposed to be really people were ditching the service and plummeting in stocks and crap, but it actually did really good, and more people subscriptions have gone up dramatically. I think ever since more than the 2020 subscriptions. So I can only see that more streaming services are going to continue doing that kind of stuff, and so you're going to end up having to pay maybe if you want with or without ads. And with ads it's probably going to be $14 a month. You got to think about you're going to HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu, if anyone still uses that. What else? There's more. Those are like the main ones, but $14 for each one of those kind of sucks, just a little bit. And then you have to go through the process of choosing your own thing to watch. I don't know about you. I cannot make a decision for the life of me. I would rather watch a million different reruns of the same episode than to have to sit down and go through a bunch of shows and choose my own show to watch. I don't want to do that. If I'm gonna sit down and watch a regular show, right? My immediate reaction is to go episode by episode. So start from the beginning, go all the way to the end, rewatch it all the way through. That is not how God intended it to be, okay? God intended for me to sit down, be put right in the middle of season 4, and then be launched back to season 1 on the next day. That is how things should be. Get like a little like Google I'm feeling lucky button for one single show, just for one show. I'm feeling lucky. Press the button, get launched to one episode of that show. Because I think Netflix has something like that, where you can just press a button, you get a random show. But that doesn't always work, because not everybody's going to like that. It does sound like a fun thing to do, and I might do that some night with friends or something. Sit down and just watch a random show and have to watch it all the way through and then judge it. But if you have it on one show that you've already seen, then you are complacent. I am complacent in what I want to watch. I am fine with being launched into season 4 of Adventure Time. And you may be wondering, well, why don't you just go and launch yourself into an episode of Adventure Time, maybe in the middle of season 3? Because then I have to choose an episode, and then I have to choose which episode's my favorite episode, so I can get the best quality of time. I don't like choosing my own things, because I demand perfection out of myself, and I'm going to demand the best episode of Adventure Time, not just any episode. The problem is I've watched the best episode a million times, and it just is a continuous circle of why. Why am I here? What am I doing? I'm just gonna watch the TV, but all that's on TV is just a bunch of dead bodies, and then detectives going, that's a dead body, and other people going, yeah, it is. I don't know why I'm getting so distressed about this. This isn't even an issue. This isn't even a problem. Just turn the TV off. Go read a book. I've been reading The Alchemist. Oh, man. But I guess that is one reason that I have been reading The Alchemist. Another thing is you gotta be learning how to be alone as an adult. And that sucks if you don't like yourself. If you don't like yourself and you don't like being alone, how are those supposed to mix well together? If I'm with people, I can talk easily. Sometimes, if they're people that I know. Get a notepad, write this down, follow in suit, and then tell me if this makes sense to you, because it doesn't to me, and then you can explain it to me like I'm a child. If I go out and I hang out with people, right? If it's someone that I know of, I can talk generally easily to. So if it's my sister's friend or my friend's friend, I can usually put on a little bit of a show, have a good time, be able to be a little goofy, a little funny. They hopefully go home having a good impression of me. I go home feeling like I give a great impression. I go to bed and I have a good night. If it's someone that I've hung out with before, after that interaction, that I feel like I've given a good impression of myself, the next time we hang out, I'm going to be an awkward mess. And it's gonna suck. I don't get it. I don't know why I'm like this. I don't want to be like this. And I don't know how to fix it. So that's why I'm making you fix it for me. Thanks. Get back to me on that. But even then, with people that are complete strangers to me, that is just a no. That's a complete no. I'm not going near you. I'm sorry. I have not made many friends in college. Why? Because I won't go near you. And if I think you're cool, I'm going to just kind of glance over, go, you're cool in my head, and then I'm going to look away. I've talked about it with a counselor. She says I have social anxiety. I think it's quirky. It's just a quirky and cool, fun sitcom moment. It's cool. I'm funny. It's... Can someone laugh? So just cut it. Just cut it. Cut the audio. No? Can't do that. There's no one else in this room. I'm talking to myself. So yeah, maybe this is just going to be a form of therapy, and I'm going to put this form of therapy on the internet for anyone to see. But guess what? You don't know my name. So what are you going to do about it? Unless you do know my name and you can recognize my voice. In that case, go away, please. Or stay. Because I'm talking to myself, and it would be really great to talk to somebody else. Which I could have more people on the podcast. I think it would be really interesting to have a podcast where they occasionally, like, once every now and again, they bring in someone who is a fan of the show to the podcast and then talk about things together. That'd just be fun. I feel like it probably's not, because I don't know if I can trust any of you. I'm already distrusting you. Mistrust? I don't know. But I don't trust anyone on the internet, and that is a good thing, because my dad taught me from Law & Order SVU that there are perverts out there, and yeah. So, maybe not that great of an idea. I don't watch a lot of podcasts, actually. It's a little conceited. I'm sitting here recording myself and making something like this, and I don't even listen to other people's podcasts. Like, when I referenced Curtis Connor's very, really good podcast, that was just like me looking at it, because I had never really seen it before. It was just there, and I didn't listen to it all the way. In fact, I often think that podcasts are kind of boring. I only listened to, like, a few, and there was only one that I would really listen to. But I was also another true crime one, and I don't like true crime, so that's why I don't even listen to it anymore. Just listen to music. I guess if you count streamers? Is streaming a type of podcast? What's the fine line between streaming and a podcast? Because, I mean, like, you get people like Ludwig, where he'll stream his video game that he's playing, right? That's streaming. That makes sense. He's streaming what he's doing. But, like, what if it's just, like, you're sitting and you're talking? Like, Hassan Abi, he sits and talks. Because he reacts to videos. Is reacting to videos not a thing you can do on a podcast? Would that not be considered I need a definition of what a podcast is, because this is gonna stress me out for no reason again. See, this is why I can't do this during any time other than the summertime, because I'm gonna sit here and stress myself out over stupid things like this instead of actually doing my homework, which in general, you know what, I'm not even gonna do the homework in the first place, so why am I even here? Why am I even talking about this? Of course I'm still gonna do this during school. Anyway. Thinking about calling anyone who watches this dumpster fires. Let me know if that's an interesting thing that you feel like identifying as. Would you like to be your own personal dumpster fire? Warm your hands by yourself by being a dumpster fire with me, the leader of them. My door's jiggling. Stop doing that. I should probably close the window. You can definitely hear all the loud motorcycles drive by. There's a lot of loud motorcycles that drive by. I live by a busy street. There's markings on the bottom of that plate that I bought from that antique shop. I hope things don't turn out bad. what's up with stereotypes like that? That, like, in shows, there's a lot of, I guess in a lot of, like, not even just in younger shows, like for shows pandered towards younger audiences, there's a lot of, like, stereotypes of, like, indigenous people or just anything in general, if you are, like, a specific sort of ethnic group, where it's, like, a stereotype of, like, your culture, and, like, an object that has something to do with that culture is, like, a cursed bad object, and now the whole movie is about white person escaping bad object. Who knows? I wonder why they do that. Definitely not implications of anything else in the world. And let's not look further into it. You don't want to ruin your childhood. You don't want to ruin that specific episode of Phineas and Ferb. I'm on a Phineas and Ferb kick right now. I need more options. Like I said, I can't pick one thing to watch. So you guys are going to have to also do that for me. This is just me making a to-do list for people who are willing to listen. I think by now you guys have caught on that I just like to talk. And I think the people that I'm around are tired of listening to my voice. And I just like to use it sometimes. Or I should just get a muzzle. I don't know. Do human muzzles exist? I'm not looking that up. That'd be gross, probably. Don't look up a human muzzle. Unless it's not gross. See, I don't know. Could be a normal thing. Do humans need them for anything? No, they definitely have human muzzles. Because you got, like, the people who go to, in movies, you have the people who go to asylums, and they got, like, a straight jacket on, and, like, that Mad Max thing over their face. That's a human muzzle. For some reason I was wondering, why would you want to muzzle a person? And then I remember people are dangerous. A lot of people are dangerous. And it's crazy. You know, no, not even a lot of people. Everybody has the capability of being a dangerous person. It just kind of depends on whether you are willing to be dangerous or not. A lot of people, thankfully, choose not to be dangerous. They're reasonable, understandable people. But there's also other people who choose to be dangerous. And those people either are killers or in the military. So, speaking of, not the military, but, like, crazy people in general, I was watching a video. This dude was like, first of all, he told liberals to just scroll. So he's starting off strong. And he just says, the reason why society is crumbling is because dudes aren't drinking, like, wine out of the skulls of their enemies. What the actual hell has to be wrong with you to think, oh, yeah, society's crumbling because we don't kill our enemies anymore? If we just killed our enemies and drank from their skulls, that's completely reasonable. I have the solution here, guys. Don't worry. Give me your skeleton now, immediately. No, why? Why would you do that? We do not have the need to kill people. That's just not a need. I don't think it ever really was a need until we made it a problem for ourselves. Kind of like, I don't know, I feel like, do animals, they fight all the time. Animals fight all the time. We're animals. But do they go into wars? That would be interesting. I wonder if there's, like, a documentary on that or something, or it's like, hey, guys, here's a wolf war or something. That'd be interesting. I feel like there definitely is. I did watch a documentary, where it was these wolves fighting, because, okay, they said alpha wolf. I am hesitant to say alpha wolf, mostly because it's not right, but I can't find the time to actually sit down and, like, look into the research done on, like, the alpha wolf and thing. I've always been told that, alpha wolves don't exist. They're actually the parents, and the other wolves are their babies, but, like, there's still, like, a lot of why can't I speak? Documentaries that come out, and they're still talking about the alpha wolves. So do they just not want to listen? Do they not want to be correct? It makes no sense. Do some people just not want to be correct? Because I like to be as correct as possible, like, as right as I can possibly see, within the reasoning that I'm given. If someone tells me how something is, I'm gonna look up that something. Like, if you tell me this dog is blue, I'm gonna look up blue dogs and wonder why this dog is blue, and then I'm gonna figure it out, and then I'm gonna choose the most reasonable thing that I can understand, and then that's gonna be it. Is that how other people work? Are other people going around and actually checking these things, and do they only go for the things that they understand? Did I just figure out politics? Do people just not understand things? Are we explaining things wrong? Or are things being explained in such a wrong way that they seemed correct? I don't know. I'm giving myself a headache here. No, okay. Think about this, okay? 2 opinions of, like, something, like this dog being blue, the picture is edited, or no is a specific type of dog that is, like, Bluis canis or something like that. And it tries to give, like, a scientific explanation of why the dog is blue. And then you have the person being like, no, it's blatantly photoshopped. I guess that's just how opinions work, but if you don't have, like, an actual, like, answer by the person who took the picture, it's really just up for interpretation, and you just have to choose which side is fact and which side is not fact, or whatever. I don't like this. I don't like how people work, how talking works. That's it. Podcast is ending. No more podcast. First episode, we realize that we can talk, and second episode is not talking, just an hour of silence. No, I'm not doing that. Next episode's about aliens. Next week. Hopefully I'm making these weekly. And if I'm not, that would suck, because I really want to. So yeah. Don't believe the picture of the blue dog. Blue's Clues, I'm coming for your ass. I know you're not real. You're photoshopped for sure. And that dude who's in the video, or in the show, yeah, he's not even talking to a real dog. It's just like a computer animated thing, alright? He's not even real. There's no Canis Bluis, alright? He's not even real, not fact. And anyone who disagrees with me will have to do research into it and then provide a valid explanation. And if I can believe why this dog is blue, then I will be on your side. But until then, I'm standing strong. Blue from Blue's Clues isn't real. I'm coming for you. This fake dog. Fake news dog on the internet. But I was gonna end this around 40 minutes and see how long I can talk. I'm honestly surprised I've been able to sit here and talk to myself for this long, especially with the mood that I've been in. I'm very tired today. I tried to take a nap in a hammock, and it didn't work. Has anyone ever taken a nap in a hammock before? It's very comfortable, but I can never seem to let myself sleep. It's just being outside like that. A squirrel's gonna get me. Ant's gonna get me. Someone's gonna get me. I gotta stay awake. How do people camp? I'm going camping soon. I'll learn. I'll figure it out. Never been camping as a kid. So, hopefully this doesn't screw me up. Or I don't screw it up. Don't worry, I'm going with somebody else. I'm not going alone. Going camping alone is like a death wish, I feel like. Unless you're really skilled. But I don't have the time to get really skilled by July. I'm just gonna have to be able to do that. I'm just gonna have to put up with it. Oh no, I'm gonna be in like a camping area. And I'll have a car so I can just leave. Some people don't even have cars. You go to like an island or something and camp there. That'd be insane. Those people are crazy. Not crazy, but like in a bad way, but crazy in like a cool way. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you can tell what plant that is and that you shouldn't eat it. I've always wanted to be able to do that. Always. Those kids that would sit outside and just eat dandelions. Cool on you, man. Cool on you. I hope those are fireworks. Anyway, we're 40 minutes in. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. You didn't have to, but you did. That's really cool of you. While you're at it, why don't you just, like, subscribe if you want more or something, and give it a like if you want more people to listen to this bull crap of me rambling for 40 minutes, so I don't know. I'll try to get better at it. First time, not always the charm, alright? Everyone says it's the third time. I've got 2 more ways to go before I can get, one. Yeah, I gotta do this, like, 1 more time and then again after that, and then I'll be good at it. Maybe. I'm still figuring it out. Well, I'll be figuring it out. But until then, like, subscribe, do whatever you want, actually. I don't really care. Goodbye.